Hello and welcome. And I've literally just realized that this my tracking's not working. Why did I not notice this before? What the fuck, man? Why is this the case? What the fuck? Oh no. Uh, of course, guys, of course. Why is my life so... Anyway, welcome. If anyone is even there. Hello and welcome. I am Ash Mannix and I'm having some technical difficulties. Brought on by my own folly. Just stared at the screen for the last 5-10 minutes and I didn't notice that the tracking wasn't working. Of course, such is life. Anyway, it's a Sunday evening, and the plan is to play some more Ace Attorney Investigations, of course. Where's the anything? Oh, wise. Nope. I forgot about this. Of course, it's gonna happen. I need a more what you might call it. I need a more solid setup for this tracking. I'm using Meowface, but the problem with Meowface is that it relies on a network connection. You can't connect directly to your what you may call it, tracking software on the PC, which is a bit of a problem. So that sucks. I need to update my app. But there's that looks a bit better. Wait. Yes. Whoa, this is why is this so jittery? The Wi-Fi is shitting itself? Who knows? Anyway, good evening, Valari Katari. I apologize. I've been busy trying to sitting here concentrating and trying to fix this my tracking not working. Anyway, it's not even great tracking. I should probably I don't know, do better. But this is an Ashman Extreme, and you get what you pay for, and is especially when it's 0. Let's get into this. Let's switch to full screen. Let me see if my controller is working. I have been working on my what you may call it, my OBS plugin, the countdown timer one, this whole weekend and for bits of the week, and I've got a pretty big update coming out soon, hopefully. Which I'm moderately excited about. But for most people that use it, it will make no difference. I need to test it though. So I need to... Oh, this is so jank. Why is this not... Why is that shitting the bed all of a sudden? Where is this being powered from? I might have to switch over some things. Let me check something actually. I'm going to try some. Where is this being... This tracking is so jank. Man, I thought how is this Wi-Fi more janky than the other one? Don't know, it looks alright on the stream. What's Studio saying? Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Ah, yes. See that I've got everything set up. Where are we? The most critical point in this argument is when did the judge look into the hallway? Is this where we stopped? Let me... why have I got a bad feeling about this? 2240 51 on the 12th of January, which is... Uh-oh. What the fuck? No, shit. I got confused there. I was like, it's the 12th of August? Then I was like, no, that's American date time. Is that supposed to be the first? God, man. Why are the dates so jank? Bloody hell. Right, why is this... No, Jobby. No, Jobby, don't go for the cables. I'm trying to stream. Jobby, no. I've got enough jank going on. Will you at least sit down and not play with the keyboard? No. What are you up to? Just looking at me. Why are you looking at me? What's up? Oh, you just want to make biscuits on my on my leg? Right, you do that. Well, okay. Fuck. What have I opened? How did I open that? Right. Let's just get into this, whatever. I'm assuming this is the most recent one. The most critical point in this argument is when did the judge look into the hallway? And whether that lines up with when the gun was actually fired. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to clarify a few details in your testimony. What I saw part 2. I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom window. However, that doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about probably the most important detail. As I was leaving the restroom, I heard the loud bang of a gunshot. Hold it! Your Honor, about what you just said. I know, I couldn't believe it myself. Bang went the gunshot, and then I had the knee-jerk reaction. Oh, and like this, yes, just like this, with a quick ah! Your Honor, please remain calm when you're trying to explain yourself to me. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Now then, I must gather myself. Yes. When I heard the gunshot, there was no one in the hall. I should know, I looked. There was no one there. God, why are you insisting when you know you could have... You can't confirm it because he could have been sitting down. So therefore, your testimony is fucking useless. What are we doing here? This judge's emotion circuits appear to be stuck on overreact. At this point, nothing stands out to me as a contradiction in his testimony. Yeah, but we've just proven his testimony can't prove jack shit because he could have been sitting down at any point. Francisco. If I'm correct, this testimony is hardly precision quality. I know that. And that's why I said at this point, however. I think my first line of attack will be to draw more information from his honor. Right, so let's... Hold it! Hold it, yeah. In that case, you can see that you were overconfident in your last testimony. Now hold on there. I just said that it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom this time. But you know something. I don't think you know when the prints you reference were left on that bench, do you? Oh, shit. While you have proven that it's possible the detective was sitting, I still have a problem with just when those fingerprints were left. He's right, I've yet to prove where the fingerprints were left on that bench. Yeah, but do we have to prove that? We've proven a possibility that he was sitting down. We've proven a possibility that if he was sitting down, you would not have seen him. So if we've proven that as a possibility, why does that the judge's testimony it doesn't hold the same weight? I've already done it off. What is this? While he feigns ignorance, His Honor has seen a lot of life. This judge, I mustn't underestimate him. Underestimate what? He's just giving you... What the fuck? However, that doesn't mean that the detective was sitting there when I looked.
Hold it!
As we established, you went to the restroom during the recess. However, at what point in the recess did you look into the hallway? After I called for a recess, I handled the change of prosecutor paperwork. Maybe about 20 minutes until we reconvened. Yeah, the details. Okay, we have the evidence. Yes, that sounds about right. Just as I expected. What were you expecting? I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for. Your Honor, that statement you made just now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony. All right, if you insist. Let's see. I looked into the hallway about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene.
Objection!
Your Honor, I cannot allow you to make an objection. What? Yeah, what? Your Honor, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection. Egaz, I've been overruled. Your Honor, there are simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste. What do you mean by that? You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that is simply not possible. Huh? Mr. New Prosecutor recommended my man fun. Instead of biting your tongue, why don't you... What? That fucking gross... I see why you have no mercy for the elderly either, Franziska. Or sorry, I see you have no mercy for the elderly either, Franziska. But like try saying, by the way, I like cowries and sakakis. Okay. Don't talk back to me unless you want to be whipped in the back. With your height, you'd need a step ladder or 4 to accomplish that. Mr. Edgeworth, my ears are not that far gone yet. I'll have you know I can still hear just fine. And I heard the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own 2 ears. Your Honor, I have here an interesting bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad. According to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again. What did you just say? Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene. How do you explain this glaring contradiction? That can't be! Unfortunately, that is the truth. But I heard it clear as day. Bang! The loud sound of a gunshot. The sound of a gunshot. We keep returning to this point of contention. Check sound. What could it have been? Oh, the balloon. Back. I never thought about that. Oh, one sec. It must have been the balloon that he heard, and that was what he heard when he thought he heard the murder. And that piece of evidence, I always did wonder why I found it where I did. However, now I understand what that gunshot the judge heard really was. Unfortunately, Your Honor, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard.
Take that!
I found this object in the hallway earlier. What is that pink substance? It may not look it, but it is actually a piece of a balloon. I see. And I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon into the court record? Your Honor, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony. What? Your Honor, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now, there is no guarantee that the detective was sitting on the bench at that time. Therefore, you believe he must have been at the crime scene, defendant lobby number 2. Am I correct? Yes, that's exactly right. Let me ask you something. Do you think that the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? What? I think I've said enough that even you can figure the rest out on your own. Your Honor, you were fooled by the popping of this balloon into thinking it was a gunshot. What manner of trickery is this? That was a good effort you put forth, Miles Edgeworth. But if it was me, I'd have wrapped this thing up before the judge even testified. Shut up. Care to elaborate on how one ends something before it even begins? Well, to be honest, I did think that the sound was a bit off from a real gunshot sound. But who could have guessed that someone would pop a balloon in a place like this? That's true. One doesn't usually think balloons in conjunction with courthouse. I want to trade these coins with you. That's it. That balloon that girl was holding, it explains everything. Your Honor, if it makes you feel any better, you didn't lie once in your testimony. However, I can't really vouch for its accuracy. Who knew that giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do? What have I done? I owe Detective Gumshoe a very, very big apology. I will see to it myself that he is released. Wait. There are still a few things I have yet to resolve about what happened in the hallway. Your Honor, I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe. But why? I thought we just cleared his name. Whether we did or not just now or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can do for now is to continue in my quest for the perfect explanation. To that end, I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Oh, look at... Oh, don't sneeze, little one. What the hell? You little sneeze... I'm gonna get snot all over me. As usual. My tracking has stopped, hasn't it? Of course it stopped. Oh, meow face. Am I supposed to update you? I'm using this on an old phone. That's probably half the problem. Start. Right. Jobby, what are you doing? As long as you don't put your... let me just close this so that you don't heck with that. Oh, you're in the way of my mouse. Very good. Right, my track is back on. Let's do this. I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Very well, Bailiff. Bailiff, please bring Detective Gumshoe into the courtroom. I must fulfill my mission and find the perfect explanation to this case. The perfect blah blah blah. Jobby, what are you doing? Jobby and your little smelly feet. What is it now? Is it time for my trial already? I've already told you a gazillion times, pal. I didn't do it. I'll be the judge of that, Detective Gumshoe. No, you won't. I'll be the judge of that. No. I'm the judge around here, and I'll be the judge of that. Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? Yes, well, speaking of hasty judgments, Detective Gumshoe, I'm afraid I must apologize for an error in judgment on my part. Your Honor, I don't believe you should apologize just yet. You have yet to prove he's completely innocent of this crime. I guess so. What are you guys talking about? In any case, I would like you to testify as to your actions while you were on guard route. And please remember, you are not on trial. This is all just part of the investigation. As such, you may still be found to be innocent. However, if you should give false testimony... Yow! My whip will object loud and clear. If you are found to be lying, you'll be held indefinitely. Understood. I got you, pal. Looking back on the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe is lying. If I can't break his lie, then we may never get a break in this case. Damn. Like Ty is saying, in quotes, I'll be the judge of that. Oi, Jobby, what are you doing? Jobby? What are you trying to do? Uh-oh. Where are you trying to go? No, don't go after the tissues. No! No, Jobby. Tissues. Oh, fuck, I don't have space for it. No. You're not going after the bloody tissues. Damn it, man. Why'd you like to eat that? You're just ignoring me. No, don't. Oi! No! What are you doing? You're going at. What are you doing? You couldn't just you couldn't lie down and just chill. Valeric saying judgmental. This all looked like a Monty Python skit. I mean, it has got. I mean, it's supposed to be funny, right? It's supposed to be comedic. That's probably why it is like a Monty Python skit. It's outrageous. I don't know whether this is set, but the fact that they don't have. Do they have CCTV? The fact that we've gotten to this point without any hard evidence, like all of the trials are a bit mental like that. Like, clearly, you would just wait until some evidence came through. You wouldn't just start going mental. Oh, why is this switched again? See this fucking tracking? Yeah, I really need to get, I need to make an app, a face tracking app, and I need to fucking update my model software to be able to handle USB connection, because this is taking a fucking piss. It's switching in between. Or I need to get a new phone. Oh god, why? And why does Meowface not remember any of the settings? Oh man, maybe I need to update it. I don't know. Like Try saying court hall without video surveillance. I know, what the fuck. What? Why have we switched to this scene? How did I switch to this scene? Right, do you know what? I'm hiding the avatar. Fuck it. And Jobby's gone done a thing. Right, I'm just closing it. Fuck it. You're being a pain in the arse and I can't be arsed with the tracking. Ugh. Right, let me just fuck this so the light's not in my face. Ugh. Right. See if I can unplug this and if it's got charge. Okay, while I was on duty. How about not using Wi-Fi? Right, so the problem, good point. The problem is Meowface works on on the phone, right? It's a phone app, Android app. So I'm running it on an old phone, and phones don't have wired connections to the network. So I do have a dongle that's connected to the phone that connects to the network. But that dongle, I don't know what the fuck's up with my power situation, but when I plug my phone into a charge, because this thing's powered by the same power supply thing, it shits itself. And then the dongle resets. It's just a fucking faff. I need to just be able to set it up so that I could just connect via USB from the phone to my computer and have the data sent that way, instead of flooding my network with tracking data, whether it's Wi-Fi or via, Ethernet. It's just a fucking, it's an extra million points of failure, man, using the whole network when it's sitting right next to my fucking computer. Meowface doesn't support USB connection, and I'll have to make a bloody app to bloody get it to work. Like I say, maybe they didn't have the rewired technology yet. Maybe the tapes need to get finished before it can be obtained as evidence. But yeah, surveillance material should be flexible in courthouses. Nah, it's just it's contrived for the sake of the case. Like one surveillance office per floor. No, it's just contrived. There's no good reason for it, like Qatari. It's just a contrivance to make this so that this case could happen. Because you would just look at the fucking CCTV, it would show you what happened, and we would be in this as all. Actually, most of these cases would be solved if the CCTV worked properly. This is why these are like nowadays. It's like you don't get. Nowadays, it's hard to have a case like this because everyone records themselves committing crimes anyway. Because they're all idiots. Anyway. I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. From that time on until I heard the gunshot, I was in that hallway the whole time. Now, he wasn't. On my honor as a detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal. Like they're saying, like that restroom window that is not stained. Yeah, why is it a clear window? Why is it not a privacy window? What nonsense is this? Fucking, I think in America they have stuff like that where they don't automatically put privacy windows on toilet windows. No, do you know what? I don't want to blame. I don't want to like say that for the whole of America. No one's here from America to confirm or deny. But yeah, it's stupid. In its defense, the window was open, so he was looking out the open window. So maybe it did have privacy glass. I don't know. He's still singing the same tired tune. In that case, I'll just have to change the melody. I know he's lying, and it's time I pull the information I need out of him. Right, so I'm going to have to probably press him. I came down here to this courthouse at Detective Bard's orders. Well,
Hold it!
So was it really Detective Bard who called you down here? You bet it was, pal. I was left in charge of the precinct while everyone was out, and this call comes in. I want you down here in 1 minute flat, he said. Well, I thought this was my big chance, my first case, so I made a mad dash down here. Although I couldn't exactly get here in a minute flat. So how long did it take you? About 10 minutes, I guess. And what was Detective Bad doing when you finally made it? He was waiting for me down on the first floor in the entranceway, pal. He was waiting in the entranceway. As soon as I got here, he ordered me to stand guard in front of the lobby number 2.
Hold it!
And by he, you mean? Detective Bad, of course. And this being my first time at his courthouse, he also walked me up to the 3rd floor hallway in front of the defendant lobbies. And did you meet anyone along the way? Well, just as we entered the hallway, we ran into Miss Yu. When you heard from Miss Yu that Mr. Faraday was not to be interrupted, that's when the Detective Bad told me to stand guard in the hallway, pal. So far, Detective Gumshoe's testimony is matching up with Detective Bad's. From that time on, until I heard the gunshot, I was in that hallway the whole time. Right, this is the issue. I don't think he was. Valariktar is saying, in the King of the Hill, the hills don't have a stained window in the bathroom, so their neighbor Khan accidentally saw Luan naked. Yeah, that is an old show though. Is it not a standard to have privacy windows on bathrooms in the house? Because it's been a standard in the UK for the longest of times. Like, maybe even 100 years plus. Like, even old toilets had privacy windows. Why would you not do that?
Hold it!
Unless you just want people to see you. I mean, I know you don't want people to see you, but it's like, why is there not standards for that? I don't know. Larktai says, I can't believe I misspelled that. Wait, speaking of recording their own offences, Johnny Swallows, we are the 12th December's Korea's time. So 19th December night to us. His trial. I can't believe I misspelled accidentally. Mate, it's fine. When I type terribly. I make a lot of mistakes. Don't worry about it. His trial. You claim to have been in the hallway the whole time. however, is it not a fact that you did something while you were in that hallway? Of course I did something. I guarded the door to lobby number 2, pal. What else? Very well then. And what exactly does guarding that door entail? Well, to put it simply... Oh, I know. It was my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch. Oh. Detective Gumshoe, you mean to tell me that you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effect of? You got it, pal. I didn't take a step away from that door just like I was ordered not to. They all know. Well, why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Because we are all in shock. And in awe of your utter stupidity. Scruffy, if you're going to lie, at least tell us a more believable one. Ouch! Well, I'm not lying. I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. And until I heard the gunshot, I didn't take a single step away from the lobby number 2. Alright, okay. Did you not meet... Well...
Objection!
Ta-ta-ta, you stupid idiot. I have an objection. What is it, pal? Detective Gumshoe, I wonder if you might recognize this from somewhere. Hey, it's one of those things. The courthouse special Swiss rolls, right, pal? Precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall the sullied hallway bench? Hey, you know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Detective Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this. You inconsiderate, slovenly pig. Eh? I promise to clean up later, I swear. Now then, shall we get down to business? About the fact that you didn't move even a single step from in front of that door. If that really were the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls? Ark! Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from in front of that door, how did you manage to get the bench dirty with your grubby hands? Youch! It appears that Francisca's whip can do more damage than my words alone can, obviously. Alright, I confess, pal. I was hungry, so I bought a pack for myself, okay? I thought I'd get chewed out again if anyone found out about me eating on the job. So I didn't want to say anything. Mate, you're on trial for a murder. Are you fucking insane? Why am I even asking this question? Of course he's insane. It's Gumshoe. Like Ty saying, oh, they won't even need to powder the fingerprints for that. I think they would, right? You need to prove it was his handprint. Oh, no, they wouldn't. Yeah, I see what you're saying, because the prints will literally be there. Well, unfortunately for you, I saw you do the whole dastardly deed. I clearly saw you buying a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine. Okay, I'm sorry for lying. That's all I'm sorry for, you got that? Because I'm not holding anything else back. That last statement. It may sound like it makes sense. However, there is something I don't quite believe about it. Are you sure you're not withholding further information from us? Huh? Of course not. I've got nothing else to hide, pal. Welcome to the stream, crack dealer. How's it going? How's the little kitty? How are you this lovely weekend? This evening? Well, it's not evening where you are, right? It's going to be during the day or something. Like Ty is saying, for that stain. Again, my typing seems to be shit today. Don't worry about it, man.
Objection!
Oh, if only that were true, Detective Gumshoe. But it is true, pal. I swear there's nothing else. Detective Gumshoe, I'm sure you are aware of the price of a pack of Swiss rolls, correct? Remind me again, pal. Oh, bloody hell. That vending machine out in the hallway is selling packs of 2 Swiss rolls for $6 a pack. Yeah. And yet, according to you, you didn't have any cash in you until you cashed your annual $5 annual bonus check. $5, man. Fuck. Isn't that right? Let me ask then, how did you manage to purchase a pack all by yourself? Can you provide me with a proper explanation to that? I told you I bought it myself, pal. There wasn't anyone else in that hallway with me. So there's no one who could have helped me buy it. What the fuck? Wait, don't tell me. You've got some kind of proof that there was someone else in the hallway, don't you? Mate. Correct. As if you could. I mean, what are the chances of that? Wait. You do? Of course I do. What? How? What proof do I have that there must have been someone else there in the hallway?
Take that!
What the heck is that? Huh, I knew you didn't really have anything. Oh, what? You prosecutors are all the same, always lying to people. You should stop, you know. What the fuck? No, I refuse to be... What the fuck? Oh my god. How was that wrong? What evidence are you talking about? Are we gonna go with the Swiss roll? It's not the pen. Not the gun. Must be a Swiss roll. What the fuck? The balloon would have proved someone else was there. Whatever. What proof? Bastard.
Take that!
Hey, you showed that to me not 2 seconds ago, pal. Ah, I think you're under the mistaken impression I bought this pack of rolls. Wait, if you didn't buy it, then that means you must have stolen it, you thief. Well, I would never do such a thing. All you liars are the same. You start out as thieves, you're under arrest, pal. Fuck. What a fucking Swiss roll. I believe you meant to assert that all thieves start out as liars. And in that case, what does that say about you, detective? This particular Swiss roll was dropped by a certain someone. There were 2 rolls in this package. You ate one of them, but you then gave the other one to a certain other person, didn't you? No way, pal. You've got it all wrong. I ate both of them. What are you talking about? Yeah, get fucked. Fucking annoying kid. Get lost, man. Someone needs to discipline this child. It would appear that we've caught you at last. Hey, don't you dare do anything bad to that girl. It would appear that they do know each other after all. So, why do you continue to come up to me and kick me? Have I wronged you somehow? I have a name and it's K. I don't give a shit. Right, what are the guys saying in chat? Cracker is saying she isn't here right now. I lacerated my tongue while eating a pineapple. Oh shit. That sucks. Like try saying I meant to sustain but I left that out. Cracker saying do people really like that? Pineapple pizza? Ugh. I don't. Like I said, I like little Francisca's pose when she been okay. Cracker is saying it sounds disgusting. Yeah, pineapple pizza is no fun. And Valari Qatar is happy that K is here. K what? K Faraday? Faraday? Are you perhaps Mr. Faraday's daughter? I'm not a you, I'm K. K. You know, good little girls don't kick other people. Especially not hard enough to leave big nasty bruises like the way you do. Well, then you shouldn't have put Gummy under arrest, mister. You calling him Gummy? What the fuck? Gummy? My guess is that she's talking about Detective Gumshoe. What a cute nickname you've given him. Gummy didn't do anything wrong. Gay. It appears that I will need to speak with her in a bit more detail. Rawr! This child's an idiot. You are an idiot. And you are a bigger pain in the arse. Better fucking kick it for the kids. Now then, kid. She's like a stray cat. Yes, she is. I wonder if I should feed her something. What? Are we going to feed her evidence? Oh my god.
Take that!
Okay, I promise to give this to you if you calm down. Oh, a Swiss roll. Bloody hell, that was easy. Fuck, that was hilariously easy. It really belongs to you though, doesn't it? Yeah, I was saving it for Daddy. Oh my god. Oh my, have you all just forgotten that her father passed away? Fuck, you know. Your father, he's... Ah, don't say another word, pal. She doesn't know yet. Oh, shit. Thanks for watching out for me, Gummy. But I already know about Daddy. I overheard the guards talking. Bloody hell. About how Daddy, he's not here anymore. Oh, shit, man. How old is she again? Does it have an age for her? She's not even on the thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't protect him. Yeah, you suck, Gumshoe. Okay. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna. Bloody hell. I'm not acting out the crying bits. Cry. It's all right. Let it all out. Your father just passed away, after all. Jedgeworth with the tact of a fucking potato. I myself was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was a young child. A case in which my father, who was a defense attorney, passed away. All of my dreams of becoming a lawyer were crushed into fine ash on that nightmarish day. Even now, the wound festers deep in the depths of my soul. Ever since that incident, I've dedicated myself to locking away every criminal I can. And now, to have this happen right in front of me. This child, I feel a certain shared fate, a common bond between us. Miles Edgeworth, what sort of gentleman are you? What? Are you going to just stand there and watch a lady cry? Yes, what's your problem? Ah, you're right. Sorry about that, I was just going to say there. Okay, here. How about we use this handkerchief here and dry your little eyes. Quiver, quiver. Blech. Oh shit. Oh, dude, all over his cravat. Oh, my cravat. Don't blow your nose on that. Oh, it's so gross. I literally gave you a handkerchief and you ignored it. I feel better now, thanks. Oh my god. You just sullied my cravat. Judge, are you just going to allow her to have sullied my cravat? Wait, what the fuck's going on? Okay, are you going to be alright? Yep, I'm already alright. What? What? You're what? How are you alright already? Somehow I highly doubt that. I'm not going to push it. I promised Daddy I'd never cry in front of strangers. Too late, you kinda already did. And you're a good kid, aren't you, Kay? You always keep your promises, right? They're saying, why do I feel her Seifuku is gonna transform? What, her sailor outfit? Like Kill la Kill. Is it talking to her? Like they're saying, what's he gonna do? He's a prosecutor, not a seal sarge. Wait, what's a seal sarge? That's right. Even if I can't see Daddy anymore, I'm going to keep all my promises. What? You're a very brave girl. Okay. You're a very good child for keeping the promises you made to your papa. I'll even testify that you didn't cry just for you. What, you lie? What? That's a bit weird. Thank you very much, lady. Ha. It's nothing. I'm only telling the truth after all. It appears that because her father was a respectful prosecutor, Franziska is sympathetic to Kay's feelings. Okay, what kind of person was your father? Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world. So to you, a prosecutor is a hero of justice, huh? I suppose we are, in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for criminals. Plus, you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolutely favourite treat, Swiss rolls. Again, you fattened Swiss rolls. Oh. I want to be a hero of justice someday, just like Daddy. So I've been working really hard. What? I see. And what have you been working hard on? I've been working hard to keep all the promises Daddy and I made together. You have a promises book. Of course you do. Graduate saying Keiketsu. Well. Black Tie saying Seal Sword is a German furrow who talks to victims. Translation is supposed to be cure of souls and pastoral care. I think we have social workers for that. Talking to victims. I'm sure the police have specialists. I don't know what you would call it in the what do you call it in the UK? Counselling? I don't know what you would call it when the police send someone to talk to you if you've been a victim and stuff like that, to kind of like help you with that. A promise notebook. May I look inside, Kate? Sure, okay. What? Alright. It appears to be an exchange diary of sorts between father and daughter. Mr. Faraday's writing conveys a sense of the kind of man he was. This little notebook just might come in handy later. Are we going to keep it as evidence? Bloody hell. Let's have a look at that. Kay's promises to Daddy. Promise 1, never take things from a stranger. Promise 2, never go anywhere with a stranger. You took money from a stranger. Promise 3, always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Weird. Promise 4, never cry in front of strangers. Why have you made this promise? Promise 5, always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. Fair enough. Daddy's job is to make sure that everyone follows the rules. Kay, be a good girl and promise that you'll keep your promises to me, okay? What's the never cry in front of strangers then? That's a bit dubious. But thank you for showing it to me, Kay. I hope you'll continue to work hard and become a hero just like your father. I'm gonna try. Hey Kay, so I'm a detective that catches the bad people, right? That makes me a hero too. Yeah, you're really cool too, Gummy. Yeah, aren't I, Kay? Mate, you fucking failed at protecting her dad. Just shut, like, come on. Hello and welcome to the stream, Fat. Police do welfare checks. Welfare checks. Ah, and it's like police that do it. Valacti is saying church, police and disaster response units have them. And other bodies that deal with grave occurrences have people with that role. Ah, okay. Seal Sorge. Cure of souls. And pastoral care. Interesting. What is with the two of them? A hand down verdict of justice, so that makes me a hero too. Yes, and thanks to your also heroic testimony, you almost painted that detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail. I'm really sorry about that. Gummy's not a bad man, okay? What's she gonna do, fight him? That poor judge. He's being treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. It appears that you and Detective Gumshoe are good friends, Kate. Yeah, we're friends. Okay. In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him? What? Why? So I take it that you ran into Detective Gumshoe earlier. Yep. I was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was standing in the hallway staring really hard at the vending machine, so I said hi. And when was this? Before everything got crazy. How long were the two of you together? We only talked for a little while. And then we went on our own ways. That's right, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while and that's it. Oh, which means we have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during the recess. Isn't that right? Ah, you got me. Wait, where's Jobber? I told you to stop picking on Gummy, mister. Very well then. I'll just have to speak with the good detective in private later. Were you the one who bought his pack of Swiss rolls, Kay? Well, I didn't really have a lot of money. And I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. But that still wasn't enough, and I really, really wanted one. Come to think of it. She did come and ask me to exchange a handful of change for $1. And that's when you came and asked me to change your money, correct? Yeah, thanks a bunch for doing that, mister. Sure. But let me ask you, even with that $1, you still didn't have enough, correct? Well, that's why... Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm gonna have to arrest you, pal. Did I remind you that you're the one already under arrest? Ow! I sense that Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with this question. Sorry, about your roughly thing. Yes, well, now that is positively drenched in your nasal mucus. Don't worry, Kay, I have a spare. It is a pretty over-the-top bloody thing to wear. It has like 3 layers, what the fuck. So here, you can have this one. What? Why are you giving her your thing? Oh, look, he looks so normal without it. What the fuck? But Daddy said, never take things from a stranger. Ah, it's one of the promises you made in your promise book notebook, correct? Yeah, look, see? It's right here on the page. Yes, yes, yes. Alright then, I'm not giving this to you. I'm merely allowing you to borrow it. What is this bending of the rules? You can take it home, wash it nice and clean, and then give it back to me next time we meet. Okay, Daddy never said I could borrow things from strangers. Oh, this feels wrong. Oh no, you put another one on. And why did it attach like a freaking one of those ties that like a stick-on tie? Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Uh-oh. I believe it is now crystal clear that you were with little Kay in that hallway. Girl, I told you to stop being mean to Gummy. Miles Edgeworth, there is still something you have yet to resolve. I beg your pardon? You still haven't offered an explanation for why that man would lie to us. That's, well... Gummy, don't tell you you lied for my sake. Hey, don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay. Uh-oh. So that's why. So, what was Detective Gumshoe's motive for lying? If you can't explain that, then you can't call this a perfect investigation. His reason for lying is very simple. What? Here is what I believe to be his reason. From simple observation of the detective's actions and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious the detective was lying for the young girl's sake. And this piece of evidence will show you exactly why. Wait, what evidence? The notebook? What? Which piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay? The balloon.
Take that!
Uh-oh. Shit. What? What the fuck is this? Like asking what is their relationship? She's gonna... No. Unless you... What? Whatever. Lame. I'm assuming it's a book. What else have we got? Which piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay? I'm assuming it's a Swiss roll.
Take that!
Oh my god, it's not the Swiss roll? Is it because, like, she gave him $1, even though it was, I suppose he gave her $5.
Take that!
Mr. Faraday and Kay's promised notebook. Well, how does this explain anything? If you could take a look at this page, it's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about that promise, he tried to cover... What the fuck? That's a stupid reason to almost get himself arrested for murder because he wouldn't... Oh my god. He tried to cover for Kay. What a fool's fool of a foolish reason for a fool. Fucking hell. Ow! That is a stupid reason, though. She's right. You deserve that, you dumbass. Gummy, you lied because of me, didn't you? Oh my god, mate. Because I'm your friend, Kay, that's why. This is not how adults... What are you teaching her? Gummy! At long last, Detective Gumshoe, can you please tell me the whole truth now? Guess there's no beating you, huh, pal? Okay, I'll spill the goods. Valarikadari, I believe that they are just friends. Gumshoe is just being nice because he is, for all his faults, he is a caring individual. I'd been standing guard for a while. I was getting really hungry and that snack vending machine was taunting me. All the cash you had on you, but all the cash you had on you was $5. And that wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheapest item in the machine is a $6 pack of Swiss rolls. Yeah, but then like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up. I was thinking about sharing a snack with Daddy, so I wanted to buy a Swiss roll, but I only had about $1 in coins. So we pooled my $5 and her $1 together, and bought a pack of Swiss rolls together. But I was worried about breaking one of my promises. You're alright to do it for a fucking Swiss roll, come on. That is lame. So then Gummy said, Mr. Faraday's one scary guy when he gets mad. But don't worry, you won't get in trouble if I don't tell. Oh my god, that is such a bad whatever. Besides, you bought it with me. So you didn't really get it from me, you know? That's what I was thinking. You told me it'd be okay. And he gave me a whole roll to save and give to Daddy. Who knew that Scruffy would be so considerate? Indeed. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the rolls together. Yeah, we split the other roll and ate it right then. The sweet taste of that cake's chocolate. I'll never forget it as long as I live, pal. Mate, what the fuck? Anyway. Kay, I believe this also belongs to you. Oh, that's from the balloon I popped. It's bad manners to leave garbage lying around, Kay. I'm sorry. Well, I guess I can't blame you for not throwing this one piece away. It was sitting high up on a windowsill where you couldn't see it. So just this once, I forgive you. Very good. But that balloon, I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. What? And because of me, Gummy dropped his half of the Swiss roll, and also got in trouble with his testimony. Ah, wow, you really got me there, pal. That was a weird thing to do. So I thought maybe I should give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you picking on Gummy, mister. So you kicked me, is that it? You sure are a feisty one. I'm really sorry, mister. It's alright. I'm perfectly unharmed. You said you had bruises, man. But about this Swiss roll, would it be alright with you if I held on to it until Detective Gumshoe is cleared of all charges and free to go? Yeah, sure. Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay? Of course, I promise. Now then, I believe you have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty. I mean, we have the testimony of a child. Does that prove it? Is it enough? Which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders.
Objection!
Actually, it just proves just the opposite, Edgeworth. You've just shown that Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime. What do you mean? It's quite rude to eavesdrop, Miss Yu. She has issues. I'm getting lectured on manners by a girl with a penchant for whipping people. I mean, she has a good point. But what? How dare you talk back with such insolence? You're wrong, lady. Gummy's not the bad guy. Oh, and what have we here? What is a child doing here in a courthouse? Bailiff, please take this child away. Oh shit. That was fucking rude. But Miss Callisto Yu, that girl is Mr. Faraday's. I know, so what? What the fuck? You think that just because she's the victim's daughter, she gets to just run wild all around the crime scene? Did she run around the crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her to speak nothing of getting underfoot. I suppose you're right. However, as long as we're in agreement on that point, let's get back to the real issue at hand. Now then, detective. You're in front of the door to lobby number 2 the entire time, correct? Yeah, but... You see, isn't it obvious that it could only be the detective? He is the only person who could have gone into lobby number 2 at the time of the murders. Ooh, what if they were killed before any of that? Ugh. I have no counter-argument to that. Don't worry, I've already put in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest. Why are you so bloody on it? What the fuck? Something's up with you, Miss Yu. Something is definitely up with this. It's not right. Ugh. But the investigation is far from over. Oh, that's right. I was going to speak with you about that. Don't you think it's reckless to talk to the suspect out in the open without a guard? I suppose it is. Well, as someone with more experience in law than you, damn, allow me to share something. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes of your negligence. Ooh. Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. I know, man. I mean, but she's not wrong. This is unforgivable as a disciple of Onkama. Down, Tigress. Now then, I'll be looking forward to the results of your investigation. Damn, man. Well, she came in here without a guard as well. What's she talking about? So we're back to square one. Actually, this is our last chance. I can tell that if we fail to solve this case, Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all the circumstantial evidence. This investigation is not over yet. There's still one location we have yet to inspect. The room that can see into the murder scene? It's where Detective Bad and Miss Yu were at the time of the crime. Lobby number 1. Oh, interesting. Ooh, to be continued. Bring. Da 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 da. Wait, is this the other one? It looks exactly the same. But wait a minute, the window is open. Does that mean someone could have done something via the window? What is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? It smells like flowers. Uncle Bad, is this it? Isn't that Detective Bad and Kay over there? It looks like she managed to escape the bailiff. No, that's not quite it. Aw, too bad, but it's so pretty. I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it. Thanks, I'll treasure it always. Those two seem to get along rather well. Oh, here, I've got something else for you. Yay, thank you, Uncle Bad. Is she not eating the whole day or something? Earlier I ate one of these with Gummy. Gummy? Oh, you mean Gumshoe. Gummy is... He was trying to be nice to me because I was going to get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. That is stupid, to be fair. Gummy. I know he didn't kill Daddy. Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying. I'm not crying. Okay. Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too. Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being? You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Yeah, but who's she going to go with? Someone needs to take her home, and then... Is there anyone home? Or was Faraday her sole guardian? Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant. What? So I'm related to the investigation. What? Is that so, Detective Bad? Yeah, I guess. What? You were just scolding us like kids to not mess up the crime scene. And now you just let the child run free? Why? People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You always had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Miss Yu is looking into. Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you. Oh, that's right. Hey, mister. Yes, what is it? I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So, please, find the real bad guy, okay? I won't forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there is no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering. Well. This television is the same model as the one in defended lobby number 2. Looks like the 2 rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies. Yes. The 2 rooms are basically the same, huh? Interesting. Well, it may not look like much, but I find that ordinary tables like this one are very useful. I think it's time they bought a new one. I wonder if they will replace this table if I hit it enough with my whip. Much too heavy-handed method if I ever saw one. Okay, that was something. Oh shit, I didn't mean to go out. What the fuck? I want to look at the kettle. What an incredibly strong scented herbal tea. I fear that more than being relaxing, the scent may make one a bit heady instead. You put in a special request for that. Interesting. A very strong scented tea. It smells like flowers. What? Why would she want to do that? This is making her look more and more... this is making you look more and more suspicious. Like that's a case harm stream title. No, I'm not doing that, mate. What should I do for a stream title? Gumshoe's an idiot. Gumshoe had $5. There you go. That's a stream title. Am I losing my touch? Yes. Wait, what the fuck? What? Who? Ooh. Right. You. So you is you put in a special. Wait, why can I not? Fuck. 'Cause I clicked it. So you is the prosecutor who interrupted us a second ago. What? Can I not? This person. They're all so young. 24, my fucking arse. Why is everyone like a child? Oh, we do have a profile on her. He was 40. Deed Man. I fucking can't go over that. His name is Deed Man. Fucking hell. Character saying Gummy and Bad. Wait. These are just our friends, right? I mean, it's a good thing she would have known Detective Bad before. Cause he had worked with Faraday before, so she might have known him before this this incident, and that's why she's helping him out. A, because she wants to find out who the killer was, and B, because she knows him. I've got a feeling that she's now an orphan because there's no talk about her mother. You put in a special request for that. No wonder she's so violent if she's been drinking this stuff the whole time. Neither woman should be allowed to comment on this particular topic, ever. Yeah, Edgeworth is a T-man. Lol. Ta 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 ta. That expensive painting is ill-suited to be hanging on the wall of this room. I wonder if a guard detail should be placed on it. Why'd you say that? Well, a desperate low-paid detective might make off with it someday. You never know. You may be thinking about hiring a guard. But it's obvious she isn't factoring in that guard's salary whatsoever. One of the windows in this lobby is open as well. The air conditioner is working just fine in this room, so why did they open it, I wonder? That's super important, my man. I can see down into the courthouse courtyard from here. What is that mess supposed to be? It's like an optical illusion. I believe it's supposed to be postmodern in design. More like thoughtlessness in design. I can't disagree there. Okay. Can we go back into here? Oh, hello. I suppose it's impossible to enter or exit through these windows thanks to these bars. I suppose you're right. Actually, that's not true, but a person of a small stature could slip in. Francisca, would you care to help me test my theory? Drat, I must remember to be more tactful around the vertically challenged. Well, that is one tiny TV. Detective Gumshoe was rather shocked at this and said it's huge compared to his own. Ha! Anything you can compare with something he owns will always seem grandiose. Speaking of grandiose, I'd say that ego of yours could use a little deflating. Pot calling the kettle black here. Black Tie asking, does AC circulate renew air? How does AC work? Yeah, it brings in air from the... I think so. Black Tie is saying tiny TV. So yeah, that's a pretty big TV. Is Francisca they probably have a massive TV in their house. Mr. Lab Technician, I want to know what you found. Oh, I found some fingerprints that I can't show to any kids. Whose fingerprints are they? I think they're the victims. And what kind of prints are they? The kind that Detective Bad told me not to show you kids. Ugh, that only makes me all the more curious. What is it, Edgeworth? Nothing in particular, however. He says. Ah, you did it again. What is that supposed to be? Your mating call? What the fuck? Is everything I do humorous to this woman? Look at her go, man. Look, Edgeworth, I'm incredibly busy right now. I've got a mountain of things to figure out and check up on. If you want to talk, you're going to have to wait until later, okay? I'll just continue with my investigation then. It seems that that detective has more brains than he looks in some regards. Do you really think so? Because to me, in order to pull off a crime of this magnitude, let's just say that I doubt he has enough mental prowess to be successful at such a thing. Ha! Don't think that kind of subjective commentary is going to prove anything. Wait, what? If you have a theory, then prove it to me with evidence. Of course, that has been my intention all along. Was this table here all along? I suppose so. Objection! Well, clearly it's out of place. When you take the sofa into consideration, that table is much too tall. I get the impression the two are not meant to be used as a set, Francisco. I knew that. It seems she's lost her calm sense of judgment and her eagerness to defeat me. Well, whatever. That didn't give me anything. Are we going to look at the jobby? The bench is covered with ants. The janitor is going to have a tough time with this. It would appear that they're coming in through the open window up there. Ants are unusual creatures. We can learn so much from their diligence and zeal. That's it. We're not gonna... Oh, fuck yeah. Black Tracing, what is the defense attorney? Oh wait, I guess as victims they are the prosecutor's job after all. What? Where is the... Sorry, you were asking where is the defense attorney? We are the current defense attorney for Gumshoe. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy. Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay. It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste. It sounds like he'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again. I don't have anything to say to you. Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window, but that smell's still here. Perfume, huh? So the sweet scent in the air is perfume. Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand. She said it's a famous brand from overseas. It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff. No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it. I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as how you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. What? Miles Edgeworth, you will hold on to this bottle without fail. Ugh. Why can't she ever be honest about her wants? Because she's an idiot. Misused perfume data jotted down in my organizer. Wait a minute, let me have a look at this. Perfume given to bad by you. Same perfume as the one spilled in lobby number 1. So now that we have the perfumist you wearers, just fantastic. Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to the investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about. So you were in this room the entire recess. Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here. At least your story is consistent. Earlier, you stated that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Then, what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in 2 different locations. Guess I am. Interesting. Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you. Ugh. Let's see. Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident, and as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard CZ, but because you were the lead detective on the case. You knew? I also know that today's trial involving the Cadopian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday and the KG8 incident. If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you. But like I was saying, yeah, the attorney's client is deceased, so he is technically out of the case. Yes, excessive application of perfume counts as bold in Japan. And as a student in Germany, only Franziska's appreciation for perfume that much. Yeah, clearly this is not super expensive perfume, or even if it is, clearly this has been used to mask something. There's a reason why. Try to think, what would you need to mask? What smell would you need to mask, and why would you need to mask it? Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story. Other than people who were directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. Oh shit. The honest truth behind the KG8 incident. Faraday, you, and I. As you already know, we 3 were involved with the KG8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries? That trial was just a front. A facade? Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed. And then what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Devory. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Devory was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. The boss man of the Amano Group. You can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. This is Colt, man. What is he trying to do, suspecting Mr. Amano being involved with smuggling? I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Cochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder, Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go? Well, if I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, Cece, I was supposed to protect them both. But you did mention that as well. About how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap. What kind of trap? The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap. You mean you were fired upon? You were shot at that many times in one gunfight? No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG-8 incident. I see. I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned, and that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu. About when you first met Miss Yu, it was on the day the verdict of the KG incident was handed down, was it not? Yes. Faraday and I, we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do. But just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face. Well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough. I suppose not. You said it herself, that she never wanted to see either of us ever again. But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KG incident had to come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases, but the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial, related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as a defense attorney. Her client was related to the smuggling ring, and she was defending them. Yeah, Yu was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rel this time for the same reason. Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect. I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KGA incident, alright? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. But don't put words in my mouth, I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. So Valaktai is saying, oh, you as the defense attorney. Yeah, so you was the defense attorney, Mr. Faraday was the prosecutor. It doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable. You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are. How dare you insult the daughter of a Von Karma? Just like us, you felt that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all. The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young, but one day you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all. So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay have known her since the day she was born. Faraday and we cracked quite a few cases together. But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagrasu case. Wait, so Faraday was the Yatagrasu then? He was doing that because he couldn't use the law to capture the people involved in the smuggling ring. Black Diary is asking, so what's she going to do now with her client deceased? You're talking about you. I don't think that stops anything. She was just using that as an excuse to get close with people involved with the smuggling. To try and find out more information. So she'll just have to find another person involved with it, I think. Did we touch a nerve? I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either. I said that there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagrasu is what's necessary. You claim to know much about the Yatagrasu. Would you care to share what you know with me? What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yatagarasu. What? The KG8 incident and the second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagarasu. However, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd? Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already. I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time. A reason? Huh. And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu. If it will help you solve this case, then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu. What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident. Yeah. It still accidentally whipped me anyway. There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagrasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagrasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever. I see. So those are the Yatagrasu's special traits. Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief. The Yatagrasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew that Rail wasn't a real Yatagrasu right away. But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't. Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy, the Yatagrasu. The Yatagrasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagrasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about. In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagrasu who sent it? That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagrasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure. And just what sort of card is it? Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yatagrasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was. Ah, that's how Detective Bad knew that Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagrasu now. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom, it'd be much appreciated, sir. Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you? Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive. I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals elsewhere are found guilty. Nope. But you say? What does law mean to you? The judge is just like standing there staring. Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. It appears that His Honor is still a bit dispirited. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony. Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict. Francisca, there's no need to further depress His Honor. But I'm not trying to, Miles. Your Honor. Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor? The evidence. Your Honor. Oh, yes, can I help you? I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir. Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job? Wow, rude. Yes, I'm sorry. And I would accept that the defense attorney has yet to arrive. She is busy with the investigation. So let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. Or maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth. Like I was saying, so what's she gonna do with her client deceased? Oh yeah, no, I think I already answered that. Oh, let me just rearrange my seating position. Oh dear. I've placed all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you. I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for. Wait. Shit. Let's go and have a look at this. Evidence that Miss Yu prepared is just sitting here on the table. You know you can't just walk off with it, right? Of course I do. Miss Yu must have been caught off guard by her client's sudden accusation. I wonder how she would have defended Mr. Rell in that case if he was still alive. Can I read it? I want to read it. Shit. Not even. Well, I suppose it would be rude for the judge. Bloody, I didn't. Oh, no. Why is that guy still lying there looking at you? What? It's the viewing gallery. This is where the riffraff sit when they come. Oh, this is where the riffraff sit when they come to watch the riffraff. It's situated at the same height as the judge's bench. I wonder if that's to represent the intense scrutiny of each and every case from all sides. Miles Edgeworth, are you all? Or are you not man enough to stand up to all those eyes? Sort of. Of course I am man enough. What the hell? So this is the evidence related to today's Cadopian Embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag. You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right? Yes, finally, we can now take a look at the evidence itself, not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time. Agreed. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence from the embassy murder too. And why is that? Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about. What? Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something. And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today. He's like double your age. What the fuck? See, someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. She's fucking 13. Get over it. And she's tiny. What the fuck, man? It's already crazy enough that Edgeworth is here, because I'm pretty sure he's like 19 or something. Like I saying riffraff, what an asshole, what an asocial asshole. She is such an ass. This must be where the riffraff sit. Shut up. You are so. How has she not had her comeuppance when she started work as a prosecutor? Is Von Karma like his reputation that strong that she's able to go around whipping people for years and not get comeuppance for it? Because I mean, that is just physical abuse. She's literally committing crimes every day when she whips people. It's also real to see the knife up close. So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope, and what's this organizer doing here? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you. About what, Your Honor? They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. What? Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation. Detective Bad said that? What a strange stroke of luck. Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. We may as well flip through it too. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it. It looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here. I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rell was the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in the case. The sound of his handgun going off is recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell is not the real Yatagarasu. And it would also appear that he had proof that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. What? And he apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle. I hope that this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Real may have made about being the real Yatagrasu. And he had a way to prove that Mr. Real was the guilty party in the embassy murder. This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Mr. Faraday wrote his strategy for winning in here. Right. Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here. It appears to be a key. And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle. Wait a minute. What the fuck? The knife flips over to show a key? That's what that must be. And I'm not allowed to look at this more closer. What the fuck? And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle. The craftsmanship is superb. This be the Yatagrasu's key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer. The Yatagrasu's key? Detective Bad said something earlier. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy, the Yatagrasu. The Yatagrasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagrasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about. Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret key safe. As a prosecutor on both the Yatagrasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected. Yatagrasu key jotted down, my organizer. Wait, but it does look different, right? Wait, that... It's the same design, though. It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act? I mean, it's a knife. And it's never crossed your mind that you use your riding crop for the wrong purpose. Well, that's odd. Oh, what is it? Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer. That certainly is odd. The weapon that was used to kill the Kodopian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from? Isn't it obvious it was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell? That's the only logical conclusion, right? No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside. In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up in the courthouse? I need to think carefully here. There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at that evidence. Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me? Actually, I do know the answer, Francisco. What? Then what is it? One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of his own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse. What? And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse. So this is a knife, and it came in the bag, but did it come via...
Take that!
This Yatagarasu's key, Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse. You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth. You just need to look a bit closer, Franziska, to see what I mean. Don't the colour and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything? They do remind me of the knife. Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key in this photo and the murderer's knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagarasu's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife. You don't seriously mean to say? It appears that you've finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same. But that's impossible. Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail. Ooh, interesting. There's a button at the bottom, isn't there? Nobody thought to check this. Baby! I can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick to this thing. It was literally just a latch. So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key that Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now. Yatagarasu's key data updated in my organizer. Frankly, I'm shocked. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday. Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief, Yatagarasu. Then maybe Mr. Rell really was the Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario? No, not really. Especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier, but when we questioned Rell about what was sent along with the white cars, Rell had no idea what it was. I see. Alright then, I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu. It seems that this key is truly the key to solving the case. Knife data updated in my organizer. This gun was originally used to kill the Cadopian Embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. Indeed, there doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. I suppose I should explain it to you then. Yes, you should. Perfectly and in its entirety, if you please. On the night of September the 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mac Rell was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot. A simpleton of a man, that's what he was. Perhaps he was. The weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rell was caught in the act on film by a security camera. He was an even bigger simpleton than I'd thought. I can't believe he didn't notice a security camera. The Cadopian Embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area. So have you seen the contents of the video for yourself? Well, I cries asking, what did I miss? A peeling knife. Right, so the knife, we found out that the knife transforms into the key. That's the Yatagarasu key. Yeah, if you click on that, that knife turns into the key. So the key, which the Arthur sent to the police, which is the key that I think he stole from the Amano group or something, turns into a knife, and that was used to kill Faraday. So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself? Yes. The surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Well on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life. Me neither. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court. The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rail committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed? Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Yes. I'm finished. Oh, 1 second, guys. Let me just check something. Sorry about that. I was just checking messages. Vlad tries asking a peeling knife, a butterfly, is an interest. It's a weird knife. I don't know what type of knife it is. Vlad tries also asking, by the way, did anything surface that hints on how you got a butterfly knife? No, nothing has surfaced from that, to my knowledge. Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties? Wow. What? No, I did not neglect my duties. What do you take me for? No, Your Honor. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial. The surveillance video is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me. But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime. Defendant lobby number 2. Ooh. Oh, this dude. That's Detective Bad, but who is he with? Never seen that officer before. So, did you find it? No, not yet, and I've looked everywhere. Can't remember what this guy's voice was like. I see. Well then, please continue with the search. Understood. I'll continue the search. So you're the one running the show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at crime scenes. How dare you? Just who do you think you are? What was that all about? Who was that man just now? Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Does he even know that we're standing here behind him? I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids? It looks like you are paying attention after all. Of course I was. I have bad eyes I have eyes in the back of my eyes. What the fuck? I have eyes in the back of my head. Ah, so that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye on who or what is behind him at all times. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now? The guy came here from the Republic of Zhengfa to study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch. By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication. He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, lol, even if he is rude. Wow. Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time. I agree. However, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad? Earlier, that little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well. Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you. I highly doubt that has nothing to do with me. Fine, if this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him. Like saying, also she doesn't have parents who eyes approve that. I think he has a point. That is one tiny TV. Detective Gumshoe was rather shocked at this and said it is huge compared to his own. Anything you compare with someone he owns will have some grandiose. Yeah, we already read this. Is the VCR, like we're looking for a cassette, is it in there? That's what I'm traveling for. What else have we got here? This decorative plant's foliage is quite nice. It's actually soothing to be around. Perhaps I should purchase one for my room. That's it. I wonder if the killer used these plastic bags in a flash of inspiration. With that detective, I somehow doubt he was that quick-witted. You're saying that this crime was thought out in advance. With that detective, I somehow doubt he's capable of making such a complex plan. Franziska, when will you learn to take responsibility for your statements? Whatever. Let's talk to him. Yo. Earlier you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2. You are quite the busy man, Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say. I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct? I don't have anything left to say to you, boy. No, boy, you see, I will draw my answer from you one way or another. Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation? I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think? Please, we're asking you for just a little bit more of your cooperation. Don't push me, kid. I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime. I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about? Things you don't know about? But aren't you supposed to know everything? You should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. Oh well. It may prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad. Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagrasu case. In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagrasu's key are one and the same? What? That's impossible. Looks like he didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagrasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagrasu's key to prove that Mr. Rel was not the real Yatagrasu. Isn't that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was, in fact, a knife. Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something as big as this? I noticed that since a little while ago, you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you are searching for. Yeah, that's right. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought the key is what took Faraday's life? Detective Bad. So that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. Alright. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing will change. Like I saying, the prosecutor probably shouldn't be on crime scenes. True. I mean, lawyers altogether. True. Shouldn't you call it well disguised? It doesn't blend in anywhere. Shouldn't? Yeah, you know, you're right. A knife you can't find again is a bad design. No, if you know that it's a knife and it can turn into a key and you hold it as a key, I'm pretty sure it's a decently hidden device. And dangerous. It is dangerous. It's a hidden knife. Time of the murder. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case. Ring. I was in lobby number 1 talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2. Do you think the other gunshot was something else? It sounds like the exact same story he told us before. Indeed. However, I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can. Yeah, we need to fucking put... What?
Hold it!
Why did Miss Yu choose lobby number 1? Answer me. Who knows? She just said that she had something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together, that's all. Ever like try saying, I mean disguised rather than camouflaged. Yeah. There's more disguise than anything, yeah. So his answer remains the same as before, I see. We were talking about some trivial things.
Hold it!
I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu. Trivial stuff. There was nothing important. That's for me to decide. Alright, I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then. Heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene.
Hold it!
Until you heard the gunshot, did you not notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. If the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, that would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now. Sure. Ooh, I'm gonna save scum. Wait, where is it? Wait, so we had thought that this was the
Objection!
first gunshot. The perceived gunshot by the judge. So if he hadn't heard that before, what does that mean? Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same color as the one Kay was holding. Oh, so you knew about the girl's balloon? Yeah, I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her. Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. So, what about the balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. What are you getting at? This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot. Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh? On top of that, his Honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene. Yes, which means that his Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway. When you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad, and if you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So? What? Don't give me a so. You just proved that there is a flaw in your testimony. The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivety cracking. Lol. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked. What's that supposed to mean? The doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. What? Then you mean... Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound. Wait, how did you hear the gunshot then? No. I knew that's what he was going to say. Then that means that Scruffface's testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle. That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now, do you get it, kids? Mate, how did you hear the gunshot? The guns are very... Like saying guns are very loud, so loud to get your ears ringing. I suppose. But he's saying there's soundproofing. Wouldn't that be enough again to soundproof against a gunshot? Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around. The other way around? It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. Yeah, I was thinking that. And yet, Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean, how? I just did. It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words. Oh, how so? If the rooms are so soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I had thought. Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to? The windows were open, right? It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have. It is like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again. Huh? The state of the crime scene? Wait, can it be? It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. She did that on purpose. Oh! I'm way too noisy. The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? Oh shit, all of a sudden we're getting a whole bunch of shit. Right, so the window is open. Black Tricycle, there are reasons you should wear hearing protection while shooting. Gunfire could give you hearing damage. Yeah, I realize it's very loud. So by far not comparable to a balloon. I know, but the point is that they're soundproofed. And in the basic logic of this game, that just means that you wouldn't be able to hear it. But in real life, you probably would. Shit, I need to do this. So the window, no human can climb through his panel. The center floor is that. But the window is open. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows. And yet, the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant in lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open, barred windows. Yeah, smell. Dude, what the fuck? Right. Open window. Where did the evidence tape from Faraday go? What are we saying? Where did the surveillance tape from Mr. Faraday's bag disappear off to? I think it was in the television. Now then, what else besides a smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could have been heard in both locations. Yeah, it was in the TV thing. Wouldn't they have checked the VCR first? What type of investigation did the police do? They're just like so stupid. Like Classic was subsonic. I mean, I should mention this case. No, man. Like, this, obviously not. It's not going to go into that much detail. The missing piece of evidence is a video. That shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible that the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing evidence created for me is the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place. Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again. It's not a waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should look. And where would that be? I believe we should examine the television. The TV. Man, these people, it's a fucking videotape. Where would you look? We haven't looked at the VCR at all. Well, you have fun. You kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. What the fuck? Alright. I won't resist until I've inspected every suspicious looking cranny. VCR. It's a video player. There seems to be a videotape inside. It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape? I suppose, but... Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this video? Sure, knock yourself out. Alright, then let's rewind this and see what we have. If I remember correctly, the footage of Rell killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape. Understood. It should be about right now then. Let's see. This is the footage of Mr. Rell shooting the embassy staff member. I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along. Surveillance video, data jotted down in my organizer. The sound. What's the meaning of this? It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder. Do you mean that you have figured it all out then? Wait, what? So people heard the gunshot. What actually was heard was the videotape playing. And the murders could have been done beforehand. Wait a minute. Does that mean that what's her name? Does that mean that Callisto's actually the Yatagrasu? Nah. Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Fine, in that case, show me what you've deduced. Now to show what the gunshot detectives Bad and heard was, and through where they heard it from. I won't rest until I've inspected Avenue Carnier. Right, so someone left this video and play the whole time, huh? So other than the killing, there's hardly a sound on the rest of the tape. And why did the television make that loud noise when Scruffy got near it? That's probably because the tape had run out and stopped his playback. It's not just bad luck. That detective has the worst timing in the world too. Someone purposefully left this video on play. The question is why? Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
Eureka!
This piece of evidence. Oh, fuck the fuck. It was a cassette. What are you talking about? Okay, I'm guessing we've got the cassette now. Blah, blah, blah. So I got to deduce that that's really the cassette. If the door and windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed, the killer could have used a gun and no one would have been the wiser. That's true, this cold house does seem to be well disguised for such a thing, as it were. However, what happened in reality was, Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot. Well, the windows in lobby number 1 and number 2 and the hallways were open, so naturally the people in those locations could hear it. Ah, but then why would the criminal open the window in the first place? To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose. Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this. But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction. Okay. Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of? The time. The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes, and he used a gunshot in the surveillance video to do so. So that's why the tape was left running? You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period. Before the recess. Before the recess. And planned this crime out in advance. Wait. So this dude. That person is the real killer. Ring. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, what is it? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she's identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something. It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood. Please tell her that I'll be right over. I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth. We continued. Okay, what are you doing here? Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating. But the object you're looking for has already... Okay, don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation. Okay, you got it. Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for? If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do. Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The moment at which we can finally lay this case to rest? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've more than solved this case already. Don't you? We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Oh, I see. We even have a viewer in the gallery. And why even Mr. Bad is here. A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander. I have a duty to see this case through to the end. No matter how it turns out. Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements. During the time when our suspect was in the hallway, I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe. And that's all you have. Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion in this case. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there is always time for rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think? How about absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing? But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony. My logic is correct, and I've already won. All I have to do now is to prove it by showing who the real killer is. Is it her? Because she brought the perfume, but the perfume was the excuse to open the windows. So that was the setup. Like I was saying, what else is there to keep her in the dark? It's just to keep her busy, I think. Like I was saying, she knows that he's dead. How worse could that be? It's like finding out why he's dead. I think it's just to keep, it's just to keep her busy while they do their investigation and really find out what was happening. Everyone sans the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? I also confirm that there is no possible escape route from lobby number 2, which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion: that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. Right, where do I interject? Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth. But of course, there is no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump card she has up her sleeve. Right, so... Everyone says the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off.
Hold it!
The suspect? But I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven. Aha, are you joking, Edward? I assure you this is no joke. Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier. The detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. Yes, that is correct. But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking. I see she's done her research well. Which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right?
Hold it!
Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide. The scrunched eyebrows and lines on her forehead are back. Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through the window and into the garden? That's the first place everyone looked silly. police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad? Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything in the courtyard garden. I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case. I also confirmed that there is no possible escape route from number 11.
Hold
it! Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape? Of course I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer.
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? But you're the only one still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. Oh, there's a little hint there, guys. Like I saying, it's a shot or a stab, can't be that bad. Of what else can occur? He hasn't put in a wood chipper or torn to pieces. She's a 10-year-old kid, man. Come on. It's to keep her occupied. I mean, you're just like, could it be worse? But that alone, it's just to keep her busy, man. Because if she's not kept busy, she's gonna just stand there and think about the whole situation. Also, it keeps her out of her hair. I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisca or myself speaking with you about the subject. Ah, but they were witnesses. For you, there is your mentor who gave you an alibi. I see. As for the little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess and was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, or so I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard or a bailiff or anyone else. Wait, so basically the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor. By the way, Miss New, what about everyone's alibi before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? What kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when that gunshot you heard went off? What then? That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Care to explain how that could have been fabricated? Bloody hell. Yep,
Take that!
That tape? Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rell the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up. You can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was to the gunshot in the video. Ah, but I do, which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. The only thing I could think of... That's the only thing I can think of too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes from the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Objection!
Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Van Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew, didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit we had no idea until only a little while ago. That's right. And if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet we heard the gunshot clear as day. And that's it. End of story. But it's not. How should I explain why she was able to hear a gunshot from a soundproof room? There is actually one common point between lobby number 1 and number 2. And it is that despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now, we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also open.
Objection!
It's probably just coincidence that they were both open at the time.
Objection!
It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in lobby number 1? The answer is that a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. And the person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. The real killer in this double murder is...
Take that!
Miss Callisto Yu. I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. What? You indict me? Wow, look at that. What are people saying in the chat? So the lag I'm surprised she can go on with the day at all without grief with his death. It would be very odd for her to not know how he died. She's looking into it though just now, to not want to know how he died. That's what she's investigating though. They're letting her go on a wild errand to try and investigate why he died. And I'm going to be honest, Valari Katari, like, if someone close to you dies, you don't, it's not like the way they show it in movies. Different people react differently. It is quite normal, I've seen it, where people will react in ways where you think, why are you not showing much emotion? Because it's like, there's people react very differently. There's shock and stuff. So I can believe it. But also, I mean, it is stretched. I mean, the logic, the reasoning is stretched in this game. I'm not going to pretend it's not. Also, gunshots and stabs are the most expected cause of death in crime, so there's no point of her keeping in the dark. It can. I think it's not keeping her in the dark of how they died. I think she knows about that. What they're trying to figure out is who the killer is. So she's going around trying to investigate to find out who the killer is. So, and again, it's just something to keep her busy, to keep her occupied right now. And she needs it as well, I think. Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she is the killer? I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she is the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now? Haha. Of course I do, Edgeworth. My argument must not be tight enough yet. Although I have never thought things would spiral into this. Well, I have, you know, I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? You argue that the window was open, however, do you have proof it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this. Especially with logic as full of holes as yours. Right, that last statement didn't do jack shit. So, Valak Tricycle, so keep her in the dark was misworded like camouflage. No, I think they're keeping her in the dark because she's looking for the final piece of evidence. They found that final piece of evidence, which was the videotape. No, the key. And what they didn't know was that the key is the thing that was used to murder her father. So they're keeping her in the dark that they found that, just so that she can go around keeping herself busy. Because if she knows that they've found the key, then she's gonna be. Again, she will just be like, now what? And right now they're trying. I mean, they don't need her here to see them try to accuse the murderer, right? It makes. To be fair, I think they've done it in the game because it makes it easier for the game to just not have her here just now. If we're going to be honest, I wouldn't think too much about the logic of the reasoning between each character's decisions in this, man. I mean, look. Our main man is wearing a fucking 3-layered cravat. I don't know. There are certain limits that I'm just like, is what it is. I still love this game though. This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second, or the truth will blow away. It's a weird way to put it. Now is the time to put the patented Von Karma perfect proof to the test. You argue that the window was open, however, do you have proof that it was I who did it?
Hold it!
Evidence. All I need to do is have some prints analysed and we'd know straight away. Be my guest. It sounds as though she has the room to maneuver, which means, even if you were able to lift prints, it'd only show that it was someone else. But why that someone else was forced to open the window? That's simple logic. Why don't I try presenting that piece of evidence? I have nothing to lose. But what's wrong? The scrunched eyebrows lines on your forehead, they're all back. More importantly, are you going to be okay not running a fingerprint analysis? Yes, I'll be fine. Oh, well, in that case, I'll just continue with my testimony, alright? Right, so... Can I present that? Will that work?
Objection!
I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu? Aha, Edgeworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. Bloody hell. Valagtising, if that guy sends her around investigating, you should at least give her a pair of gloves. Valagtising, lifting prints, is that what you call that? Is it a term, lifting prints? I've heard it said. No, I don't know how common it is. Give her gloves? Yeah, probably, but they don't expect her to actually find anything, and they're probably not letting her run around the actual crime scene. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know. But this isn't mine. That's right, it's mine, and I received it from Detective Bad, you see. Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad. And that you're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume? While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad. Oh, I know. You also knew that if you spilled it, he would naturally move to open a window.
Objection!
Come on now. I've already told you that's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
Objection!
The timing of when you are going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shots. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You mean... Miss Yu, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway, is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu. Ha! Ha! You accuse me of murder and the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. Would you care to testify as to why? Ha! Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow wary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Oh, shit. Why? It couldn't be me. I Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma. Ooh, burn! In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Miles, her testimony is flawless. Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking information, I'll just draw it out of her. Oh, that was a hint. Damn, man, that was a burn and a half. Some murder over spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top.
Hold it!
I think I already explained the significance of that earlier. You only confirmed that I did spill some perfume. But that's all. That you would accuse me of murder based on a simple spill. Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character. Do as you like, but as for me, I believe. You believe? I believe that you are the true culprit in this case. My, you're enthusiastic. Of course, I should have guessed. I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Von Karma, not good. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday.
Hold it!
And why exactly could you not have killed him? I was just about to testify to that. You're such an impatient man. I'm not really into that, you know, Edgeworth. Your preferences have no bearing on what is at hand. Feeling a little uncomfortable, are we?
Objection!
Miss Yu, you will desist in this tomfoolery and return to your testimony. And Miles, if you're going to lose your cool, then I won't show you any mercy. Sorry, Miss Yu, please continue with your testimony. Oh, you know, you bring a good point, Valarikatari. Francisca didn't say anything to that. Interesting. Sure. As I was saying, I couldn't have possibly killed Mr. Faraday. Oh, well, that didn't give me anything. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from.
Hold it!
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu, but maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag. Miles, what do you think you're doing? Drawing the truth out of her, that's what I'm doing. Huh? But I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today. Well, I suppose that'd be because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use. Ah, so that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yatagrasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Did you just really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest. I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I can wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony. Sure. Why not? I'll even say it as many times as you'd like. There was a key in his evidence bag, but you can't kill anyone with a simple key. Well.
Objection!
Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the Yatagrasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Yatagrasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes. Well, with the Yatagrasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of the Yatagrasu's key. What? That wasn't her. Was it her? I still haven't had a good look at it. showing it to be from that far away. You could be lying for all I know. You would even now still feign ignorance. I'm not feigning anything. But we can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I've heard some very interesting rumors about him. Are you mocking my papa? Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor. It's legit, though. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real. Wow, who knew there was such a trick to this thing? Are you satisfied now? But of course you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yatagrasu's key are one and the same. Otherwise someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement, and who would never have been privy to this trick, wouldn't have never known about it to begin with. Furthermore, there's something that the Yatagrasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was? Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. But he didn't tell me about how the key actually transformed.
Objection!
What you are saying is simply not possible. Oh, and why not? Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. For within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
Objection!
I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know. Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Objection!
Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. What would have been highly classified information even within the police force. And is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you laugh at a time like this? She probably just realised the flaw in her logic and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to be concerned ourselves with. But, I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like to say that I also know that you know the real nature of the knife. Do you know? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me? Oh, I will, and I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it, the moment of truth. The secret behind the Yatagrasu's key. Only one person would have had knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would know from the start that the Yatagrasu's key could change into a knife? The Yatagrasu.
Take that!
There is only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key. And that is the person who sent the Yatagrasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yatagrasu herself. Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief Yatagrasu? Monsieur, you used Mr. Rell to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You who profess to bear a grudge against criminals, why? Why do something like this? He doesn't need to admit anything. Oh, she's going freaking mental. Who would have thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me? You're sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than when I sneak into someplace. What the fuck? You! You! Lol. You killed Faraday? What? Why? Answer me, Callisto Yu. Callisto Yu, huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yes, the great thief Yatagrasu. What? Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity. Which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favour in return. Bloody hell. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagrasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things. Money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held on to Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue in the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. Wow, the Yatagrasu sucks balls. But didn't you say that you despised criminals? But do I really? You! Have you forgotten about the KG incident too? Maybe. What sort of woman would? So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Ha! Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated that Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagrasu, by using this Yatagrasu's key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. If the weapon is well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. I hope there's a camera in here recording this. Well, I tried asking where was Manfred anyway. He went away to do his own shit. I think he left. He's going to present a leg to poker. What? Lark tries saying, how well can you see that blade inside with the x-ray? Ooh, good point. Is she going to disappear in smoke? I've got a feeling she might do a runner. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday. And in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yatagrasu's key, just like that. He never noticed that I had changed the key into a knife inside that plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life. How could you kill him? I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death. But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rel as well. I believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness, and how that led the killer to think about setting them up as though they'd killed each other. Then the trick with the surveillance tape. Yes, I hadn't actually planned to use the gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape. Which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all that was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet. Bloody hell. You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you portray a client? Client? If you want to talk about who was a client of whose first, it was me. I was a client in the murder of the Kodopian embassy staff member, Deed Man. You ordered a hit job? You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had Deed Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination? It can't be. You're... That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring. What the fuck? The Yatagrasu was a member of the smuggling ring? What? How could this? You don't mean you're working with Manny Cochin too, do you? Maybe, maybe not. Guess you'll never know. The Yatagrasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right, little girl. The Yatagrasu is just another killer. Be quiet, you. Yatagrasu. You can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know the Yatagrasu has 3 legs? Do you know why that is? Huh? No? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatigrasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work. Oh, shit. Damn! Look at that cold-blooded look. What a fucking... what a CG. The fuck? Shit, guys. This shit is quite real. You really are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Yatigrasu's key right to me without a second thought. Wait, did we? Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it. So is she actually you? Did her sister not get killed? You mean the key was your real target? And even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Or you may regret what comes of your negligence. You two get down! Eek! Oh, Franziska shit herself. My body, I can't move. Hey mister, to your right! What? You! Oh, the kids are after him, so. Are you alright, Franziska? I'm perfectly fine, Miles. The voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot. Valak is saying, asking, is she just an imposter? I don't know, maybe. She got away. Sorry. But it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket. I'm gonna say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. But more importantly, boy, I mean Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, are you too hurt? I'm absolutely fine. I'm also alright, thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and hey, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir. I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you're protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Now, don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, Pops! Pops? Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment. Like Tyson, how's Kay doing? We don't know yet. So Bad was hit? No, he was shot through his jacket. I should get back to the investigation. I swear I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bad. And take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Bloody hell. I didn't expect that, man. Bloody hell. So, thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. That was no problem, really. I mean, I lied to you, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor. Well, even if we didn't have his honest testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard, give all that you have, and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me. She did? Ooh, what is it? What was it that Kay left for me? The proof of their friendship. It's the...
Take that!
It's a courthouse special Swiss roll. Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm gonna eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. The Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. While the one Kay saved never reached her father, it would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective. He's so happy it's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his home. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him. Whoop, that was good, pal. Can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. God damn it. Gotta thank Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she? You only noticed just now. This is mine not present when we discussed her earlier. Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him. Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but first... You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm gonna stick right by your side from now on, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Uh-oh. I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement. Lol. We should go home too, Miles. We have to hurry and report that what has happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective. Roger, sir. Don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well. I'll, be counting on you. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I've tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. Also, yeah, I mean, detectives don't tend to become the subordinates of prosecutors. That's not how that works, but that's how it works in this game. Like I never watch detective shows in English. Is pops what they say there? I feel like it's an old term from like black and white movies where someone will be like, "All right, pops," to someone who's senior. I don't know. It kind of sounds familiar. Maybe. Like where was the judge's lie? The judge didn't lie. He just said what he thought happened. I don't know why he's saying it's a lie. It was just like that's what he thought, and he was wrong. Like but there's still the trial. No, there's not going to be a trial. Yeah, what was the trial for? Because Rel is dead, and so is Faraday. Like the trial at least needs to get gavelled off, or however you call it. Yeah, Edgeworth doesn't need to be there for that. I think you can do that without him. Or maybe they will. No one cares. Like they shouldn't be subordinates to yes. This game is bizarre, mate. It just is. Like the whole, the way that the court cases, the court sessions are done, it doesn't make sense either. It's just the world of Phoenix Wright. But I suppose that just how things are, that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now a massive pain in the arse. So do you remember now? Yes, I remember everything. Okay, it's been a while. Okay, you sure grew up a lot. Of course, but thank goodness, I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time? Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much. Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're alright. So does it all make sense now? You betcha it does. Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently.
Hold it!
And actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagrasu? The Yatagarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. The real Yatagarasu was my father. What? What? What is this quote? Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu? Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure. Mate, he could have just wrote that. Like tries saying, oh, she has lived on her own head ever since. No. She said she was living with her mother's relatives. But that's impossible. What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now. Alright then. How'd you explain this? Dude, what is that random gizmo? I forgot about that. It's the fucking holodeck. It's a way of disarming any security system the user's choosing. Yup, that's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. Wait, where did this gizmo come from? And this little gizmo was used by my father. Wow, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor, he was a really a great thief, huh? Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. What? But he was killed, and the Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently. Someone other than you. Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article. The Yatagarasu sent the MC a calling card. Yeah, I mean, this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto Yu lady is behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out. What? I thought that's what their calling card was before. But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. Oh, they did say it was odd. They did say that this instance was odd. The Yatagarasu never sent a card. And that would also explain why she didn't know the key could turn into a knife. Only Mr. Faraday would have known that. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves. Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you're saying that I have your father's misused identities backwards? Yes, because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. That's not a good enough reason. That's just like your speculation. And I want to revive the real noble Yatagarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace. Mate, I don't... Alright, well. Okay. Okay, you're so honourable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal. Even if you're honourable, a thief is a thief. And if you are plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, you guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now? Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman. That evil woman? You mean Callisto Yu? I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me? Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you. Huh? Owe me for what? When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. That is very true. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I'm not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid. Then you mean... Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. You don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you. Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Isn't that great, Kay? Yeah, sure is, Gummy. Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. Ugh, what is with their chummy relationship? The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Barn Faraday, Callisto U, and K Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagrasu. And the Yatagrasu's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise to K. The end! Turnabout Blaze. Right. Oh wait, none of these are gonna be different. Right. I think, guys, we'll leave it there for today. We have finished the 4th case. We are on the last case of the first game. And then after this, Cookso said that Cookso wants to join me for the 2nd game. So I'm gonna try and get the 5th game done during the week or so. I really want to get through this. I don't want to sit on this for too long. Valkyrie saying, yeah, like I said, prosecutors shouldn't be in crime scenes and have public detectives as subordinates. Yeah, look, Valkyrie, you're right. That's not how this works. But this game is weird, and we just roll with it. It's cool. Why not? That would still make him biased to K in that case. That would disqualify him from the case. Yeah, I suppose you can do investigation, but you probably couldn't go to court with it if he was biased. But also, this is Phoenix Wright. Did we not have Phoenix Wright like there was a case where he was like going against his ex-girlfriend or something ridiculous. That's biased as fuck. Anyway, that's just the way these games go because it's more fun that way. But for now, I'll leave it there. It's been a marathon 3 hours. Fuck, I didn't want to go for too long, but I wanted to get this done. We'll continue this next time though. But I am Ash Mannix. This is Ace Attorney Miles. Miles Edgeworth, Ace Attorney Investigations. And I'll see you guys next time. See you.